What's the most underrated thing about being in a relationship? Always having someone to do mundane tasks with. It's like having your best friend with you when you have to do boring chores from laundry mats to doctor's appointments. Except they're happy to be there with you. Absolutely. And having shared motivation when really I wouldn't be bothered if I were on my own. Not feeling weird when there's nothing to talk about. It's just like, okay, there's nothing to say. Not like when you're dating someone new and you're trying to think of anything to break an uncomfortable silence. After 9 years. This is what makes me sad. I just feel like we've run out of things to talk about. Start doing something in secret that could benefit your relationship or yourself. I've been with the same girl for 13 years and we met in high school. You could learn piano in secret and bust out something amazing and meaningful. You could take dance classes, say you're going to the gym or summit, and that could be really romantic all the way to exciting. Secrets and a little mystery is a huge gift in a relationship when they are the good kind. I love doing weird stuff like that. Keep doing that and you'll have plenty to talk about. But of course silence is great too. Having someone to watch your luggage when you have to pee at the airport. Very underrated. Just sitting by the man, not really doing anything. Just cool being with someone. Update, happy to see so many others enjoy good company. Do you ever do that thing where she's away on business or something and you're watching something funny on the TV and you turn to her and comment on it just to realize she's not there? That is such a weird feeling. One of the best things in a relationship. One of the worst once your relationship is over. It's very weird to forget that it happened and be like, oh, I should show this too. Oh wait. Anytime you have a quip or find new music or whatever. It's just a reflex to connect every little thing to that person. People often think of a relationship as the grand idea of romance, but it's those really small things that can be most integral to it. Sleeping together. I don't mean sex, although that's obviously great. I mean literally just sleeping together. Being able to drift off to sleep feeling safe and comforted because that person is there next to you. Having someone there if you have a bad dream in the middle of the night. Waking up briefly and just feeling their presence and knowing that everything is okay and going back to sleep. I hate when my husband travels and I have to sleep alone, and when I wake up at night half the bed is cold. Although I love when he gets up a little earlier than I do and I can roll over and snuggle into the little dent he left in the mattress, which is all cozy and warm and smells like him. This. So much this. Nap dates should really be a thing. The bliss of falling asleep in a hug. On my St. Patrick's Day. I ended up at some girl's place and spent the night. Fell asleep and woke up in hug position, and we just ended up laying there in the morning half asleep and half awake for a few hours. That was more memorable than the actual 6-part, to be honest. Just being completely ridiculous with someone. Last night I hid from my partner under the tuna duvet, or whatever you want to call it, and she couldn't find me for a few seconds. It was completely stupid. But we both had a great laugh. Last weekend I was melting cheese over some nachos for my girlfriend. While playing Macho Man by the Village People on my phone, but singing the words Nacho Man. With some overly enthusiastic dancing. It's the small things. A tender hug for no particular reason. Other than you both naturally want to. It was really sweet. My BF isn't a terribly emotive person. But after spending 8.5 hours in a car that day, he just kind of took me into his arms and said, we haven't hugged enough today, and it just melted me. Edit, I hate autocorrect. Never having to be uncomfortable in public. Either physically or mentally. Even the middle seat on an airplane is less miserable when you can put your head on the shoulder of the person next to you and laugh about an inside joke. You're so smile. When I was still dating my now ex-girlfriend. Some of our time together was spent watching GOT and eating popcorn. She once mentioned some sort of seasoning powder you could buy for popcorn. Can't remember what it was now. During my next trip to the store, I managed to find some. When she came over later, I asked if it was the right kind. She broke out in this special smile that I knew was just for me. Always having someone willing to scratch your back. You're lucky. Getting a back scratch is harder than getting a BJ. Update. Told my wife about this joke and the upvotes confirming she's not the only stingy scratcher. Mistake. I believe I am now indefinitely going to be both scratchless and BJ-less. That's not funny. You think they're hard to get now? Just ducking weight. Just being able to have someone to text or maintain constant contact with. The hardest part of every relationship ending for me is not having a text every time I look at my phone or not being able to look forward to telling MGF something that happened during the day. Edit. Lots of sad homies. Please don't hesitate to PM me if you want. Took me getting down to this comment to feel really lonely. I've gone days and even weeks without anyone texting or calling me. I almost always initiate any contact with other people. I never even considered it should be different. I hear you, man. Keep you head up. It'll pay off eventually. People life effort and it seems you're the one who makes it. I shouldn't have come here. Why did I do this to myself? Probably to feel less alone. Being truly vulnerable. My wife and I lost our 7-month-old son to cancer in October of 2016. Earth-shattering diagnosis and outcome. But being vulnerable and accepting that when she says I love you it encompasses so much more than 3 words. Vulnerability. Loss. Life. Passion and joy flood through me when we're together. Nothing else matters. Honestly. Being able to be yourself. You can take off your public mask and just be the real you around them. Forehead kisses. Just got into in my first relationship pretty much ever and the first time he kissed my forehead. I was overwhelmed and blushed and melted entirely too much. And I don't think I'll ever get over it. Same meltiness. Same lean and contentment. Every time. Edited, vague wording. Someone to take a look at that rare lump or shave a weird area. Love is grooming each other like the freaky little monkeys we are. When you go to a restaurant and there are 2 things on the menu you want. You can get your to order one of them and share. Coming home to the same person every night. I love that feeling. We had 7 months apart when he had to move away for work and I had to stay put to finish a nursing course. It was awful. TBH, I have blanked out what I was up to when I wasn't at work. I didn't have many friends about who were there for me and apart from packing the house up to move I had nothing to do for myself. Only thing I can remember doing was leveling up to 80 in Guild Wars 2. He was living in a bedroom in someone's house with nothing but a laptop. I love getting a hug and a kiss every night. Knowing that no matter how itty your day was, how many people pissed you off, that there is someone at home that has your back. And even though they have your back they'll still tell you when you're being a putz and you cause most of that trouble and offer solutions to correct. Not having to deal with the world of trying to meet people and dating anymore. Just got thrown back into this world several months ago. Mother ducker. Does it ever suck? Watching that person just exist. A little while ago my husband fell asleep with his head on my lap on the couch. I just stared at him. Analyzing every inch of his face. Every crease. Wrinkle. All little strands of grey hair he's starting to get. It's like I wanted to absorb the memory of that moment and what he looks like. Then my next thought was how excited I was to get to watch him age as we grow old together and now I'm crying. Having an outlet for my weirdness. Miso and I occasionally like to have pretend conversations using only turkey noises. I find that kind of it hilarious. But when I was single I had no one to do it with. So it just kinda stayed bottled up. And I felt like a more boring person as a result. You're in a team with another cool person. It's always great to be part of something bigger. Having meals together. That's probably one of the worst things for me about being single. I love to cook. But hate just eating it myself. In a relationship you always have someone there to enjoy it with you. Being the big spoon and getting to nuzzle your face in the back of their neck with all their hair that smells amazing no matter what. Little spoon is just as good. I love it when I wear my girlfriend like a backpack. extra shrimp when your spouse gets full. And for my husband, it's extra steak. Being able to share your world with another person. Your experiences. Your friends. Your family. And to have that person want to be a part of your world. It's awesome. The effortless physical contact. They may be holding a conversation with someone and then reach out to you and put their hand on your back. I'm terrible at describing it, but it feels like it cements the togetherness you guys have. Going half-seas on everything. I love this. But not in terms of spending. We've had joint checking for years. I just love having someone to split things with. I get so motivated to cook good food if I could have it ready when my wife gets home from work. When we're watching TV, I like to disappear and come back with a surprise double portion of ice cream in a bowl. Or some other sweet treat we can split. In general, I do so many more good things for myself if I know I'm doing it for her too. I don't know if it's underrated exactly, but for me it's the random couch fondling. From rubs on the neck and shoulders to playing with breasts to light, non-aggressive ticking and stroking of genitals. Sometimes it's just her. Sometimes it's me giving the soft touches. Sometimes it's mutual. Not even so much a sex thing. More a relaxation thing. When we settle in for some TV time in the evenings, hands and fingers roam and give needed stress relief and relaxation. This is a common thing. Right, lol. Just knowing they chose you out of 8 billion people to be with. Statistically speaking, there are so many other people out there who could be more compatible and or make you so happier than you. Lesson to learn. Don't take them anywhere or meet anyone new. Second lesson to learn. Don't listen to me, I'm lonely old man at heart. Just feeling the other person touching you. I'll slouch in my chair while reading. And put my feet on his chair. He rests his hand on my foot while he's browsing the internet. It's so comforting. Not having to sit next to a stranger on the train. Watching a show or movie and being able to discuss the best worst scenes, plot holes with each other and the things you liked or disliked about it. Also knowing each other's tastes. Being able to surprise each other with favorite snacks things and asking your so to pick up food and just say you know what I like. Having a second person to deal with any household surprises. Like last night when we had a little bat in the house. We think it fell down the chimney and my partner was terrified he'd get rabies, which we don't have in Australia. We do have a similar thing called Australian Badless, but only 3 cases in humans have occurred and all up north, whereas we live down south. Also he's scared of moths, and as we discovered, bats fly like big slow moths lol. He called out to me and I was just like, what? That's amazing, and came to the rescue. I politely herded the bat outside while he held the door open with a blanket draped over him for protection lol. I feel like this balances out the amount of spiders I've had him evict from the house haha. Having that safe place to go to. I remember once coming home alone from a party. It was dark. Late. Scary, and I called my boyfriend. When I heard his voice I cried. Cause I was so happy to hear him. Sounds crazy. But it just gave me the greatest comfort there can be. Personal grooming. My wife and I call it monkey grooming. Ingrown hairs. Hard to reach pimples. Clogged pores. etc. She gets M for me. I get M for her. Colon. Someone who legitimately loves you. Cares about you. Supports you and will also help to improve you as a person. Even if that last thing means that you and or your partner need to step out of the comfort zone. I just find coming home to someone who adores me and puts me on a pedestal the best feeling in the world. Someone to share your stupidity with. Be that hobbies, sense of humor, interests or personality. Sure, some days he thinks I'm a bit of a freak, but I'm his little freak who loves him and is open about this stuff. My bloke is super smart and is like a sponge to some facts I don't know how he remembers. I love to hear him explain into high detail about stuff I wanted a simple yes or no answer about. He may have lost me in 5 minutes into it, but I love hearing him geek out about something.